welcome to my kitchen. Let's talk pro-metabolic. Okay, so pro-metabolic, what it is a lot of times people talk about like pro-metabolic diet, right? But it's not really a diet. And the funny thing is, it's basically like anti-diet, because when you think of a diet, you think of, okay, what foods can I eat and what foods can't I eat, right? There's none of that with pro-metabolic. It's all basically getting away from diet culture and getting away from restrictive eating. That's the beauty of it. I gotta chop those suckers. Stir this up. So I found pro-metabolic eating, or like a lifestyle in June of 2021, and how I found it was I stumbled upon it on Instagram, and there's this girl talking about how if you have these signs, then that means your metabolism is slow. And before I was like, oh my gosh, I am the epitome of health, and you know, did all the things. I mean, I'm a chiropractor, I get adjusted weekly, eat really clean, or you know, healthy in diet culture like standards. You know, that means smoothie for breakfast, salad for lunch, lots of veggies, good protein, which is all, those are all good things. But I was still experiencing like painful periods. My hands and feet were always cold, to a point that my patients would even be like, oh my gosh, your hands are freezing. And I just always shove it off like, oh yeah, I know, and laugh about it. But when I found pro-metabolic, it was explained that, okay, those are signs of a slow metabolism, and there's so many other signs. Because pro-metabolic eating, the whole point of it is for your metabolism. It's called pro-metabolic, pro-metabolism. So it's all about healing your metabolism, and that affects your thyroid, which affects your hormones. So you would think, from looking from the outside, or like what I was doing, that I would be super healthy. But no matter how healthy you think you are, your symptoms always speak louder, you know? They really show you what's going on the inside. So I decided to make a little change and try pro-metabolic eating. And after 2 months, like my first 2 cycles after that, I didn't even know they were coming. I didn't even know I was like about to get my period, because it was so mellow. No pain, no PMS. I didn't break out. My skin has cleared so much just by making really simple changes, like super simple changes in my everyday. Okay, so what is really the main, not the main focus, but one of the biggest focuses of pro-metabolic eating is balancing your carbs, fat, and protein. So I looked at, I've never been into like tracking your macros or anything like that, even counting calories. But when I tried it, just purely out of curiosity, I found that I was eating like 1,600 calories a day. I was eating so much food, but it was all like empty calorie salads and, you know, just veggies. And yeah, protein, and yeah, healthy fat, but I still was only getting like 1,600 calories a day. And so baseline starting with pro-metabolic is eating, everyone's different, but I'm gonna say like eating at least 2,000 calories a day to help your hormones to stabilize. Now I aim for 2,400 calories a day. And that sounds insane, but you know, it's fun. Eating is fun. So I hit it. And it's really about balancing out your carbs, protein, and fat at every meal. So in general, like pro-metabolic is not about like what foods do you avoid, what foods do you eat. It's really just getting back to like what nourishes me well, and getting away from that diet culture restrictive narrative. It's all about food freedom. Like I was dairy-free, gluten-free, sugar-free, all the things for years, and I still was experiencing, you know, freezing cold hands and feet, acne breakouts, thinning hair, painful periods, and so many other things. But I would be looked at as like, okay, I eat clean, I exercise, take care of myself, all the things, so why am I still experiencing this? It's because my body's screaming out for help, saying, hey, no, I need like true nourishment. The first 3 things I tell my patients and I tell anyone who I'm talking to about pro-metabolic eating, and if they want to get started, is number one, eat breakfast within 30 minutes to an hour of waking up. And I'm talking like protein, carbs, and fat. And then secondly is don't drink coffee on an empty stomach. And then third is eat every 3 to 4 hours to maintain that healthy blood sugar. So how I started out and made that switch, my personality is like all or none. I'm here to party, let's charge. So I literally went all or none. The main switches for me were incorporating more carbs, so a lot more fruit, especially throughout the day, and just eating more and eating more frequently and adding in more protein. I think adding in more protein was the hardest part. So easy ways to add more protein was drink a cup of bone broth every day, add a scoop of collagen to your coffee, and then maybe another scoop if you're having oatmeal, or I put a scoop in my brownies. So adding in protein here and there and focusing on quality protein is probably, that was one of the hardest things for me to get enough protein in. But once you start making these changes, it becomes second nature. All right, so hearing protein, fat, and carbs, and like me telling you like carb load, baby, it can be literally terrifying. When I first started making these changes and heard about this, I was literally terrified of gaining weight. Flat out. I was so terrified of it because I knew how to keep my body how I, wanted it at this certain level, right? I knew how to, finagle that with what I was eating and working out. But hearing about this was basically to change my health and make myself healthier. And with that, yeah, your body is probably gonna change. I was scared that I was going to gain weight when I started doing pro-metabolic. And honestly, what I noticed, one, I don't weigh myself, so I don't even know if that happened. But I do know that my body did change, but it changed in a more feminine way, which I wasn't expecting and that I really, really love. Mainly what I noticed is that I didn't have these big weight fluctuations. Like you wake up in the morning and, oh, this is what I want my body to look like, and then you eat a big meal, or at the end of the night, you look completely differently. It was my body stabilizing and my body getting healthy so that it felt safe. And now it's at a place where I'm not critiquing everything when I look in the mirror, because I know my body is well nourished and it looks healthy. And I'm so proud of it because I know I'm taking care of it in the best way possible. So to wrap all this up, here are the things that really changed my life when I started making this shift to more like pro-metabolic, focusing on my thyroid hormone and number one, my metabolism. I noticed, number one, my periods became so regular and so easy that I don't even know they're coming. I really don't. I'm not getting PMS'd. I'm not having cramps and terrible period pains. I don't have that low back pain or bloat. I literally don't know they're coming anymore, which is insane for me. That is not my history with my cycle, so that is huge. I've noticed I'm warm to the touch. My hands are warm, my feet are warm, my skin is clear, my hair is thickening, my eyebrows are thickening, which is crazy. My upper lip is getting plumper, which is insane. It's all becoming healthy and feminine and well nourished. The cool thing is there's a huge community online of men and women making this same shift and seeing insane differences, like life-altering changes, where yes, you could come from a background similar to mine of like health nut, the epitome of health and all that jazz, deep into like paleo or keto or intermittent fasting, just diet culture in general, and making this shift is a very big change. But learning about it has changed my life for the better, and now those symptoms that I've had my whole life are gone. So if you're interested or want to learn more, I post a lot about it on my Instagram, but also there's a huge community on Instagram to answer a lot of questions, and on YouTube as well to answer so many questions about this style of eating, because it is not a diet. It is really getting back to just nourishing your body.
Love and round.